yeah, they are fantastic.
How are you today? Good. Here are all the mayors that we had in the city of Dayton. Oh. Yes. So we're all here. Please, Council Gentlemen. Yes,
Welcome. Very good, very good. This is the mayor.
Oh, how are you?
Hello, good to see you.
You look good. Huh? You look wonderful.
Who's this guy?
Hi, good.
I'm Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Paul. Lori Hutchison. Pleasure to meet you. Lori Hutchison. Pleasure to meet you.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Mayor, how are you?
Nice
So good to see you. Just
Hello.
good, glad to see you.
I'm Lori Hutchison. Nice to meet you.
John Metz.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you. Hi. Tim, Lori Hutchison. Pleasure to meet you.
We're wonderful.
Okay, you have more people than I thought, so let's...
We've been hearing that a lot.
This is my team. I cannot do anything.
You have a team?
He's moving out, man.
We just have, our one
Did
people.
you get a chance to bizim şeyle verirsiniz?
I shook his hand.
No,
We're best buddies. We're best buddies now.
Okay. I don't get
but
a
it's my
chance
first
to
time.
ambassador.
I have done this all the time. Tim, we'll go to the conference room. We worked together and put the plan and the agreements together, so you knew a couple of the people. The lady in blue is Shelley Dickstein, who's our Assistant City Manager for Economic Development and Strategic Planning. John Danish is our Chief Attorney, and he and some of his staff will be working on the legal agreements that we have with that. And Leila, now I'm forgetting your last name.
Ivanovska.
Leila is one of our representative staff from Economic Development. And this is Paul Woody, who's a former city employee who I wanted to put in touch with Islam a little bit to help a little bit with the business plan.
Okay, great.
So
Islam's out there on the phone.
Yes, he's out there.
I think that's attached, it's an evolutionary.
But I somehow, made a mistake at that point, and I just, neglected informing the ministry that I will get married. Which I regret still, because of my wife's, reminding me this, but so somehow the decree was issued before we got married, and I was, assigned to Bosnia, which was still considered a war zone for us. And I didn't even make the proposal back then to get married. So that made the proposal, twice difficult for me. But anyway, she accepted, and we were there.
You demonstrate your diplomatic skills because you're still married.
Yeah, we were 9 days married when we moved in Sarajevo, which was still considered as a war zone. But I enjoyed being there, and I never thought that fate will bring me here to Dayton, to serve for such a purpose, which I really like to do here. They are part of us, I should say. Although I'm a Turk from Turkey and he's an Ahıska Türk, we are all part of the same whole. So that's how we see it. And it's great that fate brings us together in this country, just to help each other, frankly speaking. That's what I always tell to my community as well. Turks in America, we're not that much big, but people came here from Turkey for different reasons, for educational and other reasons, and somehow picked to stay here. They're quite active, vibrant society, and here we have a sample of them, I should say, and of course they have 66 years of different history, which is full of sorrows and other things, but they managed to keep their Turkish identity. They're still in Turkey, speaking in Turkish, and I see in them sometimes some, characters that I cannot see in Turkey now, which is a very typical, maybe, diaspora attitude. I guess you are an expat as well because of your last name. I understand that you are from another, maybe close to us.
Yeah, former Yugoslavia.
Former Yugoslavia.
Serbia and Macedonia.
Serbia,
Both.
Macedonia. Okay, so you may empathize with what I say.
Yeah, I do understand.
Being a diaspora is, is different because you need to stick together, and that's what they are doing. They are in different parts of U.S., but Islam, and under his leadership, the community here, Ahıska Turks, establish a best practice, frankly speaking, in terms of cooperating with the local authorities, and it's our great advantage that we have people like you yourselves here. That reaching out, the effort of reaching out to the local authorities is being reciprocated by you, which is great for us. Islam and I talk about it a lot, and that's what I am nowadays, preaching to the other Ahıska Turks in different parts of my responsibility area. There are some in St. Louis, some in Chicago, but you have Ahıska community improved that. I mean, establish such a relation with the local authorities. So I thank him, and of course I thank you as well for your.
Actually, we never talked about what exactly it would include, so we need to go and talk. We're also doing some title search to make sure that there's no restrictions on the land. There are some details in terms of the land which could be an issue that we've got to correct. That'll take a little bit of time. We have to figure that out. That's just something that came up to us in the past week or so. What it amounts to is this isn't one big block, one big parcel. When we bought it, it's a series of little. It's like there were old houses there. And it looks to us that it's never been replanted and consolidated. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a technical issue. So we've still got to deal with that exactly. We haven't had that conversation.
We also have to go through and find out where all the underground pipes are to mark them out for you.
Please.
Can we get that X amount of what we supposed to buy from you? What's the amount is? We didn't get yet that I know.
I think the amount, and that's something that still is negotiated. We did an appraisal 3 or 4 years ago, and I think the amount was $340,000 or $300,000. I think we sent that, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe we didn't. I think we sent it when we sent the information to the ambassador that time. Maybe we didn't. Our idea would be that amount, or we negotiated an amount, and again, as I said before, we would do the forgivable mortgage. And one of the terms is, what's the term of the mortgage in terms of doing that? So that's one of the terms that
those things will be addressed in there.
Those are the things that we'll have to discuss in the contract to the contract of sale.
Sure. Yeah. All those details should be addressed because
they should come through in the contract that would say, okay, here are the terms. In general, what I've said is it's the forgivable, and I've talked about that, and I think in terms of the cash, that's probably the thing that's most favorable to you, and we haven't agreed. We've had a little bit of discussion, but now that we're going and doing the contract, we'll have to have some discussion as to what we propose to you in terms of how long that contract would be for and all.
Yeah, great.
I was only thinking about that, about the price, but it's pretty understanding, and there's nothing else I can add to it other than hope that we can, it's going to be smooth and on a timely manner, so we can work together. And
we can work together. I don't ever promise that anything's going to be smooth. We're dealing with an old property. We've got a lot of complexities, but we'll work through it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, whether it's smooth or not, we'll get from here to the end.
No, I mean, everyone has the goodwill. That's how we started this process. So I'm sure that if
Last thing I
things
want,
rise, we will address it.
last thing I want to add. First, I would like to, if after we finish, our elders, they're one of the most important part of our community centers and community itself. Bayram Niyazov and Hassan Chekhalidze and Mamet Gasanov. Those people are helping a lot inside the community because you can't do anything if you don't have a support. You know, community has two different, all community has a different, you know, people, different kind of groups and stuff. So in order to manage whole community or majority of those community, I have to deal with the community leaders like they are helping me a lot with inside the community. I'm thankful for them, and I want to, after I finish, if you can, in a couple of words, I want to thank you guys, and I will translate for it, or one of my assistants will translate that. Yine to appreciate it. Varımtay dedim ki birazdan sonra sizler söyleyeceğiz de siz bir iki minnettarlığımızı bildireceğiz bunlara. But before that, I want to ask about one thing. I used to talk with the Day Powers, and we're very working very close with the priority board as well as with the other associations in the neighborhood. I talked to them, and there is a concerns about, and they supported me, and hopefully the city will support. There is an exit on the exit to the Old North Dayton. There is a set of flags of the original people who moved here from the Eastern Europe. And our hope was if we can add there. There is especially a space. Sitting around space for where we can add the Turkish flag there. Since now, if they start, we'll continue, and we want to our people be honored by that, and we're working hard. And I talked to Dave. There's some misunderstanding maybe, but it's totally very few people, not really a whole part, and all the neighborhoods. Actual people who live there for 20, 30 years or more are excited about having us there and what we're doing. And some problems can happen with the lenders, tenants, and that's coming from different parts. They don't know who these people are, and some few very minor things may happen, but the majority of the neighborhood are okay with it, and they, with their power and BAT, are working on it to get the ideas of the neighborhood and see what we can do.
We've actually talked with Dave and some of the leadership. The city's very supportive of making that happen so that we can recognize the new investment in the neighborhood, and we're working to try and come up with a design that would and an arrangement or a proposal for you to react to that would be able to accomplish that.
You have to add the flag, right? You have to add
Yeah.
the pole, right?
Yeah.
We can't replace one.
No. This is about adding. This is about. No, we want to.
No, I know. I
Adding
remember
on
this
the
conversation about 6-7 months ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
we actually started with you and our mayor.
Yes.
It's kind
So we're actually working with them to get to
Yeah.
a solution for it.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, that's just now I see it very, very promising. That everything develops so naturally among you. So